Hello, students. So here we are discussing the section 2.1 of the chapter 2 of a book Introduction to Quantum Mechanics by D.J Griffith. The section 2.1 is stationary states, and chapter 2 is all about time-independent Schrodinger equation. So here in the book, it is discussed all about the what is property of a stationary state and how we can see the time evolution of any quantum mechanical state. So obviously the Schrodinger wave equation is given by I h cut d psi, and here we are using the capital psi upon dt as in the book it is used, and this is basically minus h cut square upon 2m del square psi and upon del x square plus vx psi. So in this book, in this particular section, we have to just, it is discussed that how this psi is evolving with the time. So obviously this is partial in, basically this is partial in time as well as space. So this will be del of this del psi upon del t. So the basic solution is basically the psi. This is capital psi. So they use two psi. One is capital, one other is small. So this capital psi is basically small psi x and some function phi t. So this thing they have used in this particular notation. The phi t is the time part of this differential equation. Psi x is the space part. So I am not going to discuss how we are just going to solve this particular differential equation. But basically, we just all find that this phi t is nothing, but this will be e to the power minus I et upon h cut. And psi x is the solution of differential equation minus h cut square 2m del square psi. I am using a small psi, that is this psi, upon del x square plus vx psi x, and hence we are just using the only one variable, so we can just go for d also, and this value is equal to e psi. So here we have h psi is equal to e psi, and this e is associated with the wave function psi as a function of x. So if we will see the complete wave function psi, this is our complete wave function. This is a bigger psi as Griffith used this particular thing, that is psi x and e to the power minus I et upon h cut. So this thing is our psi. Here we can see that this psi is a function of time, but in spite of that, this is just behaving like a phase. This is just an amplitude part, and this is just a space part, and this is only function of x. But when we are going for the mod psi square about this one, so this mod psi square, so I am using the capital one. So this mod psi square is nothing but small mod psi square, because the effect of this is going to is not there, because this is minus I et upon h cut. So why this particular probability density is not evolving with the time? This is independent of time. So why this psi is identified as what? Stationary state. This psi is identified as a stationary state. So here we can just, if we have any particular wave function psi, suppose we have wave function psi, and if we have this particular wave function at time t is equal to 0, and if we can write it in a basis of eigenfunction of Hamiltonian, so we can, and this eigenfunction can be discrete, so we can use the discrete thing. So Cn, and this is psi n x. And if we have a solution of Schrodinger wave equation that h psi n x is equal to e psi n x, then what we can do, we can write the time evolution of this particular psi. So this is my time, this psi xt can be written as summation over n cn psi n x e to the power. I can use this space, or I can write it something here. So this psi xt can be written as summation over n cn, and psi n is the eigenstate of Hamiltonian basically. So I can write it en also here. So cn psi n and e to the power minus I en t upon h cut. So from here we can easily figure it out how we can go for the time evolution of state. And the surprising thing is that when we just want to calculate the expectation value of Hamiltonian and expectation value of Hamiltonian square, we can easily figure it out because we know this is our orthonormal basis of energy eigen. So this is basically orthonormal eigenvector of Hamiltonian. So if we are just going to figure it out, what will be average value of H? So the average value of H is basically, so average value of H is basically given for this particular term is basically summation over En, probability of measurement of En, that is n, and average value of H square is nothing but summation of n En square and probability of measurement of En. So we can easily figure it out what will be our average value. And if we want to calculate this particular expectation value of H on state psi, on state sum, this particular psi, then what will happen? This will be exactly E, and expectation value of H square is exactly E square, and this is at psi x. So I am just talking about this psi x, this particular. So this is the eigenstate, this psi x. Suppose it is the eigenstate of Hamiltonian, then average value of H is E and average value of H square is E square. And where we can easily calculate the del H is nothing but the average value of H square minus average value of H whole square. That value is equal to E square minus E square is equal to 0. But this is only correct for if this psi x is the eigenstate of Hamiltonian. But yes, if we are talking about the any particular wave function and which is evolving with the time, and then we can see that average value of H and H square, it can be calculated like this by using this particular condition. And here we are just calculating it at some particular psi, and this is at Cn and psi n x. So this is basically we are calculating at this particular psi. I am talking about this one, and this is we are calculating at this particular psi, which is the eigenstate. So this thing is discussed into section 2.1. So we can easily figure it out how is that any state is a stationary state or not. If it is a stationary state, then obviously mod psi square is basically independent of time, and there is not any basically, and this is independent of time, and we can easily figure it out whether it is a stationary state or not. So this is basically discussed into section 2.1 of the D.J Griffith. Thank you.